Hi guys, welcome back to my little channel. It's Emmeline. It's Sunday. I got back from my New York trip on Friday and I didn't do anything at all yesterday. I stayed home all day. It was pouring rain. I wanted to stay in bed. I just had a couple noodles, that's it. And I didn't even walk. I didn't even go to the gym. I only had like 300 steps in total, which is pretty bad, but there are just going to be some days like that where you have to let your body rest after a week of traveling because we all know when you're traveling you always experience a lack of sleep, and so I wanted to catch up on sleep. And yeah, but today is the first day that we are trying to get back into the routine. And if you have been listening to, or if you've been watching any of the videos that I've posted, I am trying to do this little project where I'm improving different aspects of my life, including my finances, my mental health, my physical health, and also like creatively just become more well versed in terms of like reading, learning a language, or getting another degree, or what else have I been doing? Starting a social media platform like this, something extra. And so that's the bulk of my content. I like to talk about productivity, self love, confidence, self improvement, and stuff like that. So, given all of that information, I did want to talk about how New York went because part of the little projects I'm doing is trying to be more in control of my finances. And surprisingly, I think I can safely say that I took a win, or yeah, it was a W. Yeah, for sure. So didn't I think I spent the least amount of money compared to everyone in my group who went to New York. And that's because I didn't do any shopping at all. If I did, it was mainly for gifting things to my friends, coworkers, my family, and maybe a couple of things for myself, maybe one or two. But I haven't calculated how much I spent for the 5 days that I was in New York. But if I had a rough estimate, I would say 300 to 600 max, I think. Or even less than that. I would say 500 and below, which is really insane because everyone else in my group went all out in terms of shopping. They even brought an extra suitcase to check in, like a bigger luggage, to pack all of their shopping, clothes, and I think souvenirs that they bought. And I was the only one in the group who only had a carry-on and a personal item. That's it. So I felt very, very proud of myself. It was something that I did want to do going in to this trip. I wanted to be more mindful of my spending, and I think the bulk of the money I spent was on food. Other than that, I didn't really spend anything on clothes and stuff, or shoes or anything like that, which is very good, I would say, because here back home, I feel like I definitely have less self control. That's because when I'm back home, I'm in that same mental space where I'm trying to escape from something, the stress of my 9 to 5 job, the pressure of going back to school, and just like everything else. So the reason why I have, I guess, this spending problem, is because I'm trying to cope with these emotions that I'm feeling. And one way that I'm trying to counterattack that is by going to therapy. I've been going to therapy for 5 to 6 months now, and I do feel the difference. I feel a lot more stable in terms of regulating my emotions. It feels good to talk about my problems to someone else because I don't typically do that. If I had a partner, I would just go to that partner and trauma dump, but that is not their job to deal with. So I don't. I try to seek help professionally, and I think that it is very, very effective, and everybody should at least try like a couple weeks of therapy. And if you don't like it, then it's probably like a lack of rapport with your therapist, or maybe you can find someone else better who can nurture that connection. So I have been trying to limit my spending, and when I'm traveling, obviously, like, I'm not thinking about my personal problems or the things that stress me out. And so I am clear-headed, I'm just there to enjoy the experience. I'm there to see places. I'm there to make memories with my friends and meet new people, and I am in a completely different world. And that's what I really like about traveling, is that it's an escape, not necessarily to escape from the reality and come back and be all depressed again, but it's more about giving that hope that there's more to life, more than just like the day to day that you're living in your hometown. So speaking, I don't know why I think that was a huge tangent again, but going back to the finances, I was very proud because I didn't have like it. We went to, I think, like 30 to 50 shops in all 5 days that we were in New York, but I think I only bought things that not necessarily were on my list. I actually didn't have a list of things that I need to buy when I'm in New York, but as we were strolling through the shopping districts in Soho, in NoHo, Nolita, all of those famous shopping districts or streets, I would just kind of follow around my friends, and if there's something that I wanted to buy, I would get it. But in terms of like clothing, none of the clothing's really like attracted or like made me want to buy, just because I already have so much. Also, because I limited my space in terms of like my suitcase, I didn't have a choice. I can't buy anything because I don't have a larger suitcase. Otherwise, I'd have to buy a suitcase to bring all of those things back home. So that's another thing. That's another, like, I guess, trick that you can use on yourself, is to limit your space so that you don't feel the need to fill up that space and go shopping. So that's a really good trick. If there were things that I got some chocolates and postcards and this customized makeup pouch from Abode, and I think that's it. That's really it. I didn't buy any. Oh, I did buy like souvenirs, but they were like license plates with like my friends' names. I got 2 shirts for my sisters, and then I had got 1 hat for my dad, and that was it. I have a really hard time like buying things that have like a logo. So even that, just buying the I Love New York souvenirs, like I felt like it was so unnecessary, but I know that that's just like the love language in terms of like traveling within my family, so I had to get them for them. But yeah, other than that, that's all I got. I usually share my things with my family anyway, so if there's like a shirt that my dad got from a thrift store, I'd probably wear it when I need it, or a hat that I really like from his closet, I'll steal it. I might even keep the hat that I bought from him, depending on how much he uses it. If I see that he's not using it, I'm gonna get it. And then same thing with my sisters. I always like share and return things, and we just share each other's closets, and it's just really nice because you don't have to feel the need to like buy things on your own. You can just like rely on one another to like split the cost of like shopping. So that's really nice. And I think the most expensive part of my total spending, was the food. I didn't expect New York to be not that expensive in terms of like buying drinks, buying like a bagel, buying a pizza. It's not that expensive, but when you go into the more like the fancier restaurants, it is a little bit pricier because you're paying for the experience. We went to this one Michelin star restaurant in, I forgot which area it was, but it was called Cote, Cote, steakhouse. It was Korean barbecue, and they grill the food for you, the meats for you. It was really nice. Apparently, a bunch of other high profile celebrities have gone there. So it was a good experience. But nonetheless, it was something that I personally would not have done if I wasn't going with a group at all. I am not a huge foodie when it comes to traveling. I have grown a little bit, and I try to appreciate the food culturally in different places that I've traveled more recently than before, but I'm still not the type of person who travels for food. I mainly travel for the touristy attractions, the local stuff, local shops, taking pictures. Like my souvenirs for myself are my Polaroids, like Polaroids that I take, pictures that I take of my friends, of the places we're seeing. Like I took a couple of Polaroids for the Washington Square, the Times Square, and there's another one, the Met, and also Bryant Park. So those are my postcards for myself, and everything else like I usually get for my coworkers or other friends. So yes, try, if you're someone who has a hard time, I guess, like trying to control your finances when you're traveling, just think of how much you're actually going to use that product or item when you're back home. And do you already have these things in hand? Is it really necessary? And what is the cost of spending $20, $40 on a wallet when you can get it, when you can invest in the stock market and get a bigger return? Because once you spend that money, it's gone. It's just in the form of a wallet. And sometimes you switch out your wallet, so you're not really getting like that much use out of your money. And like, it's just not that financially smart or responsible to have like this like feeling that you have to get all of these branded things. Because also, okay, let me just like, this podcast is a mess, but anyway, what I'm trying to say is everybody can spend their money however they want. Okay, I'm just saying that my personal goal is to become more in control and not feel stressed over money. And the way that I'm doing that is by becoming more aware of my spending habits, becoming more aware of consumerism, and watching minimalist content on TikTok or on YouTube that helps prepare me in terms of becoming the influence, and why none of these things that we see online are things that we actually need. Because the more we give to these products, these markets, the more we increase their wallet and not ours. And that's just a scary thought for me, because I don't want to be left behind. So that's just food for thought for anyone who is struggling, I guess, with controlling their finances when they're traveling. But yeah, hopefully that was a little bit helpful. I think I'm still a little bit foggy from sleeping all day yesterday, and I'm going to try to go to the gym today. So just to get in some movement. I don't want to do anything heavy because I still feel very sore. Like the plane just like makes me feel so suffocated that my bones are all aching everywhere. And I have this feeling that I'm going to get sick, so I'm going to try to drink some lemon ginger tea, get something warm into my body, and walk the dogs, and probably work on grad apps and stuff like that. So that's the plan for today. And yeah, I'll see you guys next week, next Saturday. Hopefully it's a better week for everyone else, and it's almost holiday, so I hope everyone's having a fun time, or you're still trying to have fun amidst like everything that you want to work on. Like if you're someone like me who's trying to become better in different aspects of your life, but I know like the holidays are like the biggest trap, because you want to spend money to gift to your friends and family, and if that's your love language, that's totally fine. I understand, because I love giving as well. So yeah, I hope you're still enjoying yourself. Just do it with a conscious mindfulness, and try to educate yourself as much as you can. But yes, I'll see you guys next week. Bye.